Luxury. To the world, it looks like a shiny car gliding through the city streets, a mansion with glass walls overlooking the skyline, or a wristwatch that costs more than an average person's yearly salary. People see the champagne, the designer clothes, the private jets, the vacations on white sand beaches. But here's the truth nobody wants to talk about. That lifestyle, the one so many dream of, is never born in the spotlight. It's born in the shadows, in the grind, in the nights where no one is watching. The hustle nobody sees is the foundation of every luxury life you admire today. Behind every millionaire stepping into a Rolls-Royce is a story of years spent driving a beat-up car with the engine light on. Behind every woman dressed in couture is a memory of her working late into the night, sewing, selling, and sacrificing. Behind every penthouse suite is a one-bedroom apartment where the rent was overdue, where takeout was a luxury, and where bills piled up like mountains daring to die, them to quit. Most people never see that side. They only see the end result. They see the gold, not the fire that forged it. They see the crown, not the blood, sweat, and broken bones it took to earn it. And that's why so many fall into the trap of envy. They want the results, but not the process. They want the lifestyle, but not the grind. They want the luxury without the hustle. But life doesn't work like that, because the hustle nobody sees is not glamorous. It's lonely, it's brutal, it's filled with rejection, with doors slammed in your face, with people laughing at your dreams. It's waking up at 5 a.m. to work on your craft before your regular job starts. It's sacrificing weekends. It's saying no to temporary pleasures so you can say yes to a permanent future. It's putting faith into something invisible, your vision, when even the people closest to you don't believe. Picture this. The young man who now drives a Lamborghini once walked miles to work because he couldn't afford bus fare. The woman who runs a global fashion empire once worked 3 jobs just to keep her dream alive. The entrepreneur who now lives in a mansion once built his business from a garage, so cold in the winter he had to wear gloves while typing on his laptop. These are not fairy tales. They are the reality behind the curtain. They are the chapters nobody reads when they scroll past the glossy images on Instagram. And that's the message you need to hear. Luxury is not free. Success is not given. The hustle nobody sees is the tuition fee for the life everybody envies. Every sleepless night, every risk taken, every moment of doubt survived. That's the price tag for the luxury life. And only those willing to pay it will ever hold it in their hands. But here's the part that makes the hustle so beautiful. It transforms you. The mansion, the cars, the money, those are just symbols. What truly matters is who you become in the process. When you endure rejection and keep moving, you become resilient. When you sacrifice comfort for growth, you become disciplined. When you pour every ounce of yourself into a vision that no one else sees, you become unstoppable. The luxury life doesn't just buy you material things. It molds you into the kind of person capable of holding them. So the next time you see someone living the high life, don't just admire the luxury. Ask yourself, What price they paid that you never saw? Ask yourself if you're willing to endure the lonely grind, the silent sacrifices, the unseen battles. Because that's where the story begins. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in the applause, but in the silence. Not in the luxury, but in the hustle nobody sees. And here's the final truth. The hustle never really ends. Even when the private jets come, even when the luxury cars line the driveway, even when the dream is no longer a dream but reality, the hustle continues. Because true millionaires understand this. The grind is not a season, it's a lifestyle. Luxury is not a destination, it's a byproduct of relentless effort, of unshakable focus, of consistency that never quits. So if you dream of living a luxury life, remember this. Don't chase the lifestyle, chase the hustle. Don't crave the spotlight, crave the process. The luxury life isn't found on Rodeo Drive or in the high-rise penthouse. It's found in the discipline of early mornings, in the courage to keep going after failure, in the refusal to settle for average. The hustle nobody sees is where your luxury story begins. The truth about luxury life, the part most people never see, is that behind every Rolex, every Bentley, every mansion sitting on a hill, there is a story of sweat, sacrifice, and endless hustle. The world loves to stare at the shine, but they rarely ask about the grind. And this is where the real story begins. Because luxury doesn't appear out of thin air. It is built, layer by layer, decision by decision, risk by risk. Think of the entrepreneurs you admire, the ones posting from Miami rooftops, the ones sipping coffee in Paris, the ones flying private to meetings. What people don't see is the years of late nights where they were the last one awake, laptop glowing in the dark. They don't see the missed parties, the birthdays skipped, the social life sacrificed for the sake of building something bigger. Luxury isn't the prize you grab on day one. It's the result of years where no one clapped, no one noticed, and no one believed. That's the hustle behind the glamour. It's the ugly part, the part that doesn't look good on Instagram, the part that can't be captured in a highlight reel. The reality is, every luxury lifestyle is supported by the foundation of discipline. Those marble floors in the penthouse, they were paid for by someone who stayed consistent when others gave up. That closet full of designer suits, they belong to someone who didn't let rejection define them, who kept dialing, kept selling, kept building when the world said no. Luxury is not about luck, it's about leverage. It's about learning to turn your time, skills, and opportunities into something greater. Every rich neighborhood you drive past in America has this truth written between the lines. These people didn't stumble into wealth. They created it. And the reason most will never taste true luxury is simple. Most aren't willing to pay the price of persistence. Here's the motivation you need to hold on to. Every sacrifice today plants a seed for tomorrow's freedom. When you work while others sleep, when you study while others waste time, when you invest while others spend, your future self thanks you with a lifestyle most people only dream about. And when you finally arrive at that stage, when you walk into the luxury store and buy without looking at the price tag, you'll know one thing for certain. This wasn't given, it was earned. The hustle behind the glamour is not a punishment. It's a filter. It separates the ones who truly want it from the ones who only talk about it. If you can handle the grind, if you can outlast the struggle, then luxury life won't just be something you admire from a distance. It will be the life you live. Luxury life is not just about material possessions. It's about mindset. You can hand a millionaire's bank account to someone with a broke mentality, and within a year, they'll be back to nothing. But give a millionaire's mindset to someone starting from zero, and soon enough, they'll build a life others only dream of. That's the difference. Luxury isn't first about the cars, the homes, or the jewelry. It's about how you think, how you move, and how you believe. The truth is, the richest people in America didn't just master their industries, they mastered themselves. They trained their minds to see opportunity where others saw obstacles. They learned to stay calm under pressure, while others folded. They chose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and vision over instant gratification. That's why luxury became their reality. They didn't chase it blindly. They became the kind of person who attracts it naturally. Think about it. Money without the right mindset is dangerous. It leads to reckless spending, shallow success, and quick collapse. But wealth backed by wisdom? That's unstoppable. That's why some people buy luxury just to impress, while others live it effortlessly, because they've built the foundation to sustain it. The luxury car isn't just a car. It's a reflection of years of consistent habits. The mansion isn't just a house. It's the result of a vision, executed with relentless determination. So here's the motivation. If you want to step into luxury, stop focusing only on the things and start focusing on the thinking. Train your mind to say no when others say yes to distractions. Condition yourself to keep showing up when others quit. Teach yourself to play the long game while others chase quick dopamine hits. That's the quiet, invisible work that creates loud. Luxury life is not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about honoring your own potential. It's about becoming so disciplined, so focused, so powerful in your mindset that wealth has no choice but to follow. That's why millionaires and billionaires often say their greatest asset isn't their business, but their mentality. They know that even if they lost everything, they'd rebuild it, because the true wealth lives inside them. The luxury life begins in your mind long before it shows up in your bank account. If you start thinking like the wealthy, strategic, patient, fearless, then slowly but surely, you'll find yourself moving closer to the life most only dream of. And when that day comes, when your reality matches your vision, you'll understand the truth. Luxury wasn't the goal. It was the natural outcome of becoming the best version of yourself. Luxury is not about flexing. It's not about posting staged photos online with rented cars and borrowed watches just to impress strangers. That's surface level. That's an illusion. The real luxury life is deeper. It's about security, freedom, and peace of mind. It's about building something real, something sustainable, something you don't have to fake because it's truly yours. Here's the truth. Anyone can look rich for a moment, but the people who are rich, they built their lives on a foundation that can't be shaken. That's why when you see someone living in a beautiful mansion, driving their dream car, traveling the world without stress, it's not just luck. It's the result of years of sacrifice, discipline, and vision. The luxury lifestyle isn't bought, it's built. And that's where most people go wrong. They want the image, but they're not willing to commit to the process. They'll finance the car, but won't build the business. They'll max out credit cards to take luxury vacations, but won't invest in the skills that could make those vacations normal. They live for appearances instead of reality, and then they wonder why their life feels empty. The real motivator is this. True luxury is freedom. It's waking up in the morning and knowing you don't have to clock in for a job you hate. It's choosing how to spend your day because you own your time. It's having the ability to provide for your family, take care of your parents, invest in your children's future, and still have enough left over to enjoy the finer things in life. That is luxury. That is power. That is the goal. But here's the catch. None of it comes without discipline. You cannot build a luxury lifestyle with a lazy work ethic. You cannot manifest wealth if you're spending every dollar you earn trying to look wealthy. You cannot experience true freedom if you're drowning in debt created by your own impatience. Luxury demands patience. It demands strategy. It demands sacrifice today so you can live better tomorrow. Think about the top 1% in America, the billionaires, the moguls, the innovators. Do you think they got there by chasing quick gratification? No, they mastered the art of playing the long game. They built businesses while others partied. They studied markets while others wasted time. They reinvested profits while others blew paychecks. They delayed pleasure until they could afford to experience it effortlessly. That's the mindset that builds generational wealth. And that's what you must internalize. Don't chase the lifestyle. Build the foundation that creates it. Don't try to impress the crowd. Impress your future self. Don't just dream of the luxury life. Construct it brick by brick with your daily actions. Every choice you make either moves you closer to freedom or chains you tighter to mediocrity. The luxury life doesn't start with a car or a house. It starts with a decision. It starts with the decision to wake up earlier than you feel like. It starts with the decision to save and invest instead of spending recklessly. It starts with the decision to cut off toxic distractions, to replace comfort with discipline, to replace excuses with execution. Those small decisions compound into big results, and one day, without even realizing it, you'll look around and realize you're living the very life you once dreamed about. So, if you want luxury, remember this: it's not out of reach. It's not reserved for the chosen few. It's waiting for the disciplined, the focused, the relentless. It's waiting for the ones who are willing to do what others won't, so they can live how others can't. The luxury life is not an illusion. It's a reward, but it only comes to those who are ready to build, not just pretend. That is how you step into the real luxury lifestyle. Not by flashing, not by faking, but by building a life so solid, so powerful, so free, that the world has no choice but to notice. Luxury, in its truest sense, is not just about owning the rarest watch, the most expensive car, or living in the penthouse overlooking the city skyline. It is about building something that outlives you. A life where people don't just remember what you had, but what you created, how you inspired, and the mark you left behind. You see, a luxury lifestyle without purpose is just consumption. It's fleeting. But when you align wealth with vision, when you align success with service, then you move beyond lifestyle into legacy. That is where true greatness begins. Think about the names that echo through history. The visionaries, the moguls, the innovators. They weren't remembered just because they lived in mansions or wore designer suits. They are remembered because they built empires, created opportunities for others, and transformed industries. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Oprah, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. Their luxury wasn't just in what they bought, it was in what they gave, what they built, what they changed. That's the difference between being rich and being legendary. Luxury should not be the finish line. It should be the fuel that pushes you further. When you wake up in that dream house, don't just enjoy the view. Ask yourself, how can I build something that will still matter when I'm gone? When you drive that luxury car, don't just admire the roar of the engine. Remind yourself that every mile is a reminder of what discipline, sacrifice, and vision can achieve. When you put on that luxury watch, let it remind you that time is the most expensive currency of all, and it's running out. Use it wisely. The USA audience, more than anywhere else, understands this truth. The American dream was never about just having more. It was about creating more. Creating freedom, opportunity, and wealth that can be passed down. Luxury is not about proving people wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you can turn a vision into reality, then turning that reality into impact. The cars, the houses, the brands, those are milestones. But the legacy, that's the destination. And here's the truth. Legacy isn't built in silence. It's built in action. Every sacrifice, every long night, every risk you take is stacking bricks on the foundation of your future. Your luxury lifestyle is not the reward, it's the responsibility. It is proof to the world that dreams are real, that hustle works, and that consistency beats talent. But legacy requires more. Legacy requires you to lift others as you rise, to leave behind lessons, opportunities, and inspiration that make the world richer long after you're gone. So, when you chase the luxury life, remember this: don't just chase it for yourself. Chase it for your family, for your community, for the people watching who need proof that it can be done. Let your success be their permission to dream bigger. Let your story be their motivation to never settle. Luxury fades, but legacy endures. And when you're gone, nobody will care how many cars you drove, how many shoes you owned, or how expensive your watch was. They will care about the life you built, the lives you touched, and the courage you showed when it hurt the most. That is the true luxury: to live fully, give greatly, and leave behind a name that history refuses to forget.